Hey the rulers, DMO73 here, getting caught up on deck profiles. Let's talk about Invading Demon of Water, Valentina.
Ruler School is brought to you by Odyssey Games, where you can go to pre-order upcoming Force of Will sets, ccgprime.com for singles and supplies, cardodoko.com for those rulers in the international market looking for product,
As well as our guest lecturer members, Vite Ramen and Full Grammar Alchemist.
Class is in session.
So here's the deck list for what you saw me play last week. It is a blue control list playing Invading Demon of Water. We're making use of her new X spells. We're making use of the sub-ruler for a good generic kind of dark black control. So we have a lot of really cool things here, a lot of X spells as you'll see, and some pretty standard things that we're seeing in a lot of darkness builds right now. First up, we don't have Dark Alice, so we're going to play Chubby Five-Tailed Fox instead for some draw power. We're also a Spellslinger deck, so we talked about this before. We want to play more copies of Professor Shiitake. This also lets us see extra cards. We're playing 3 Assassins of Mules in main board and 1 in the sideboard because we can reveal 1 off of the edition, but we don't want to have to, depend on that to get our assassins online, so we're playing 3 of each. We're playing 2 copies of Last Movement main boarded because we can use discarded, and as well as we can just pay into it with life. A couple copies of Claim for the Depths because we want to be able to answer things like Mask as well. This is also why you'll see Arrival of the Conqueror being played. For some additional spot removal on heavy hitter things that can't get killed, we'll play things like Statue of the Misty Dragon. To rip hands apart, we can play Valentina's Reach. We can also do a high-speed uppercut to kind of take out little linchpin pieces that we might have milled off of Assassin of Mule. Playing 3 copies of Suya main boarded, again, to outmask. It is also a good discard outlet. Playing things like one-hit KO Anesthesia to answer things like Alabaster Dragon Spirit, as well as Spirit of the Mirage Ruins. And then, the little engine of a couple copies of Nightmare plus Mule, a single copy of Fishing Spot. Mainly, we're casting a lot of chants, so like hard casting this doesn't seem like that bad of a deal to be able to just start generating tokens and pressure down that way. And then lastly, 3 copies of Vacus. Now you saw us in the sideboard, we were playing things like Ray Asnables, Zacky's New Plan, Accursed Ice Shards, another fake Silver Key. These are things to just kind of help us a little bit in terms of value. Making each player discard a card is great. Being able to pay a little bit of extra life to heal if they do happen to kill Valentina. She's expensive to Judgment, so it can be hard to get Porcelain Statue to the Regalia side or Sub-Ruler side, but the Regalia side is still really, really good. And then we're also playing single copy of Deceptive Dream because when you could make copies of this every single turn off of the edition, it gets a little bit insane, especially considering when they will trigger their enter effects whenever they leave the field as well, thanks to the Regalia, which is a little bit insane too. So that's it in Wanderer. Now in Paradox, we lose, honestly, not much. Primarily, we're going to be losing Last Movements here and Suyas out of the main board. You'll see not much change here. We kind of shorted up. We played a couple of copies of Forgotten Amphitheater. We played an additional copy of Claimed by the Depths, and that was kind of it, which changed. This is one of the weird lists where most of the cards are already in Paradox format, so we're in for a pretty good time. So not really much changes there. Amphitheater is just helpful because, one, it can help you set up, potentially for Fishing Spot of Jiangsha, but it also is a way to be able to interact with activates or automatics as well. Getting rid of graveyards is always nice too. Just anything to rip your opponent's hands resources away. We're also playing a couple copies of Replicant Loki in the board, as opposed to, and we just can play the 1 Assassins of Mule because your Water Darkness Fantasy token targets go way down in Paradox, and that's kind of the biggest hit. So pretty straightforward change from Paradox to Wanderer. Ton of fun to play this list for sure. Hope you guys like it. If you had any changes or thoughts about how you would play Valentina 3 in Wanderer or Paradox, let us know. You can check the link in the description to go find these lists directly, and don't forget to get your pre-orders in for 10 ounces of Proto-Platypolus right now through Odyssey Games. You can even check in-store pickup to pick up your product at FowFest. With that out of the way, that is DMO73 saying class dismissed.